Hey everyone, this is Rob from RuinWorks coming at you with our latest release called Mountain Hold. This is a 6-level scene. I have up here right now, 4th level, essentially just the mountaintops of the scene. The 3rd floor of our little keep here. The 2nd floor is the main walkways of the keep. The 1st floor includes some of the inner buildings and some of the ruined outbuildings of the castle, as well as a hole down into the ground level, the 1st cellar level of the castle. And on our ground level, we have a river running through from a spring inside the mountain, kind of passing through the keep, through some iron bars, and down the mountainside. And then lastly, we have a small dungeon level here as well. So what I'll do is I think I will start on the dungeon level and work my way up, showing you some of the features. Then I'll run quickly through the scene with a token. So on our dungeon level, not much of a scene here. It's dark currently because I do have scene regions enabled. Pretty busy here. A lot of these are elevation drops between the different levels, but what I was going to point out to you here is this darkness in the dungeon scene region. This is just applying darkness to the area here in the dungeon level, just so it stays dark, provides a bit more atmosphere. There's not a lot going on here, except there is this double click to show stairs down button. So if we double click that, just kind of hides these stairs that lead further down underground. So this is just left there in case you want to extend your adventure, maybe put another scene beneath this one. I'll just demonstrate the doors here. They do open, swing open, and as well the light can be just double clicked on and off. We put a token down here, kind of see what it looks like. I'm just going to give the token a smidgen of light. We're taking them through into all the small little cells that are down here in the dungeon. And then you can take the stairs up, and we can note that there is this little stair icon. So whenever a token steps on that icon, that is when they will change elevations. So as soon as I step onto here with this token, I'm up onto my ground floor. Okay, so for the ground floor, doors all function the same, as do the wall sconces. There is a darkness region on this elevation as well, which is best demonstrated when all the lights are off, so you can see how the region is somewhat dark. I've kept this region in the middle here lit, as above here is where the hole is on the main floor, so you can see there's a big crevice in the 1st floor elevation that leads down to the ground elevation. So that's why I've kept this area light, and there are a few lights here just to kind of fade the darkness more nicely. These will fade out at nighttime. So what can we do on this ground floor elevation? Well, first thing, up in the top margins, you can see our stream options. So we can have a brook, which is showing currently. If we click the lava flow, it'll change to lava flowing instead of water. And if we look at the lights, we can see all these lights along the lava flow have now turned on, just to provide a bit more oomph to the lava. And then lastly, if we go to nothing, we can see the river empty. The river kind of exits through this passageway to the outside, and there is a set of bars blocking entrance through the water, but creative players might be able to break them, so you can switch the bars from closed to broken and to none. The none variation you might want to use if you are planning on using the lava variation. If lava was flowing through here, I don't think they'd have bars across there. I kind of like the broken ones personally, as well as the water variation. Okay, over here on the bottom right of the scene, just turn the lights, maybe make it a bit easier to see. We have an area where there can be a portcullis. So there's a little door symbol here saying double click to activate the portcullis. Right now, if we look at our walls, the wall is invisible and ethereal, so you could just walk through it. If we were to double click on this, you should have heard a little sound there. You can see the portcullis is now showing up. And if we go to the wall is now a solid wall, so you can't see through anymore. The idea behind this is that there's this side door to the cellars of the keep. You might want to have kept an extra protection here. So they've included this portcullis, which can also be activated from the level above. We do have one stair area up to the main elevation, and then we have a few slopes on the outside up. You can see I've included some stair icons in both those locations. If we bring my player token through, going on any of these will allow the tokens to ascend and descend the elevation. So here we are still on the 1st floor. You can see he's at plus 10 feet. If we step down one, he's now at plus 0 feet. So he's down a level lower. There is an overhead tile, roof tile, set here so we can see the edges of the upper floors of the castle. We can't really see the flat top. So that's why you can only see the edges here. And if we were to take our token around the edge here, up to the other side, we can do the same thing. You can climb up and see now he's at closer. Right now they're at 0 feet, but if they step up a bit, they're now at 10 feet. They can actually look into the castle through one of the parapets here. Just see slightly into the castle through this arrow slit. Then descend down. So that's your ground floor. We go up to the first floor. So right now we can see there's a portcullis in the way, barring his way. So if we zoom in, we can see there's another button that we can click. Double click to open it up. And now if we look, you can see through where the portcullis was to the doors behind. And these doors just open to allow tokens through. So you can walk through the doors, see the rest of the castle below. Around him, I mentioned before that we did have scene regions here, so these will automatically drop players down. So I've noted where the stairs are, but the drops when you would expect a token to fall down between elevations. So if I take this token and start walking him across the gaping hole in the floor, he actually falls down to the level below. That should work pretty much anywhere that it's expected to. I did my best to include all areas. That's why the scene regions tool looks so busy, because I do have a bunch of these regions. Levels drops. There's 5 of them, and then there's 4 sets of different stairs that are used as well. Okay, this level. We already talked about the portcullis. The other feature here is we can break a portion of the wall. So if we double click on the transform button, you can see the wall falls, and now the token can see through to the outside. If I take him outside and we double click it again, now the wall is remade and he can no longer see through it. Double click it one more time, just toggles between the 2 different variations, broken and intact. And here again, if we just move our token more to the left, he does fall down to the ground elevation. If we bring him back up the slope, he kind of climbs back up. Next, we can see that we do have various stair icons on the map, so they should all function to allow the token to move up and down the levels. And you can see here, I'll mention here again, when we broke the wall, there is this hashed tile. Here, when the wall is intact, the tile does nothing. When the wall is broken, it acts as an elevation drop. So if you move a token onto it, you can see he drops down 1 elevation. Now if we were to put the wall back in place, select our token again, he can now walk across there without changing elevations. Just demonstrate one more time, and now he falls down. This second floor elevation runs the top of the castle walls here, and there are stairs up to the 3rd floor, where we can see the portcullis from above. There's an interaction point here for tokens to move the door. If we go back down to 1st floor, we can see the portcullis has now been lowered. The wall is changed. If we go up to the 3rd floor elevation, with the token to use this again, you can see the portcullis is removed from the 1st floor, and the wall has turned to an ethereal wall. So that's how players can activate the portcullis. There's another portcullis activation point for PCs on the ground floor, which I've got to show you, so I'll take you there quickly now. We go here, beside the stairs. We hover over the overhead tile that's showing you the roof. It'll remove it for you, and you can see that there's a door there. You even close the door. You can see the door is closed. And if you bring your token closer, open it, come into another chamber, which is above the portcullis room on the ground floor. So right now we're on the 1st floor. You can see our token here. You can see there's a bit of a grate in the floor that lines up directly above this small chamber that is blocked off by the portcullis. So, your defenders could be pouring hot oil, stabbing downwards with spears through this grate at players below. So just another way of attacking your players. On the left side of the room, we do have another interaction point. We can double click on it. And you can see the wall appeared where the portcullis gets pulled up to. And if we Look a bit more closely, we can see the portcullis is up on this elevation now. If we go back down to the ground, the portcullis is gone. And the wall is also gone. So back up to the first floor. Take our token, we can double click on the interaction point another time. Now the portcullis has dropped down, so it's no longer blocking vision in this location. And if we go down to the ground floor, you can see the portcullis is back in place and the wall is solid here. I'll also mention that there is another kind of semi-secret entrance to the building. If we look over here to the right, we can see that this arrow slit here has been broken, so tokens can actually walk through and climb in through the arrow slit. It's kind of open enough to be a passageway. And then there's not much more in the way of customization abilities or interactions, but just demonstrating that the rest of the scene also works. It's got some overhead tiles. We can see the ruined roof. Your players can climb up on this elevation. If they step in the right locations, they're not going to fall down, but as soon as they step in a spot where there's no floor, they fall down. And they should also work for when your token might actually step onto a square. There will be 2 squares down. So if he steps over top of the water, kind of goes diagonally down from there, he drops all the way down to the water here. So I've tried to make sure that whenever token drops, they drop to the correct elevation. Okay, so that's the second floor, and then I did the third floor for the portcullis already. That's up here. The only other part, all level 3, at the top left of the scene. Up this set of stairs to this kind of lookout point. And then if we wanted to go to level 4, this is the 3rd level. And then our 4th level is just kind of the mountaintops right at the top of the scene. Top left corner, there's also still the button here that we can just pull up our guide pretty quickly. So it goes over each level, what you might expect to find in each of those. Hope you like it, guys. I'll quickly run a token through the scene for you, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.